Greetings comic book fans, welcome to a chilly dude cave. I'm Jason and this is Comic Haul Friday, my weekly video where I share with you the comics I've picked up this week. Now, I've been away for a bit. The reason for that, it wasn't a planned break. It's the longest break I've had in the 3 years I've been doing videos. It was just getting used to my new job, working nights, getting used to a new routine. And plus over Christmas I was doing a lot of overtime, so that meant less time to kind of read comics and do videos. I got behind reading my books and I found it's very difficult to do a review video if you haven't read the books you're going to review. So that is basically where I've been. Nothing wrong, I'm all good, nothing wrong, but I'm catching up with my books now, so I'm looking to start doing my videos again. At the end of this video I'll explain some changes that are going to be made to my review video. But the changes with this, my haul video, is instead of doing it on Wednesdays, I'm going to do it on a Friday now. I used to do it on a Wednesday, the day I got my books, but it's very difficult for me to do a video on a Wednesday, and if I did a video on a Wednesday, I couldn't guarantee I could do it every week. I'm much more likely to be able to guarantee doing it every week if I do the video on a Friday. Hence Comic Haul Friday. So we're going to see how this goes. It may work, it may not, but I'm going to give it a good go. So this week was a big week. I got 22 books from my comic book shop. First up, I got 2 books off eBay. Ever since the Deadpool movie came out, I've had Deadpool fever, and basically what Deadpool fever is, a craze for all things Deadpool that can only be kind of helped by ingesting a lot of Deadpool. So I've been reading a lot of Deadpool, and I read the first issue of Spider-Man Deadpool, and in the back of that they gave you the first issue of Vision free. Now Vision was a book that I was tempted to buy, but I didn't. But after reading that first issue, I really enjoyed it, so I've gone back and I've managed to find issue 2 of Vision, and I've also got issue 3. They came today. I got them off eBay. They came today, so I'm looking forward to getting into those. I've also got issue 5, which I got that from my comic book shop. The only issue I'm missing now is issue number 4, so I'm going to be looking for that. I found it, there's a place online, I found it, but they're charging the same amount for postage as the comic would cost. So maybe by payday, I haven't seen it, I may end up doing that, because that, at the moment, it's the only place I've seen it. But I kind of want to wait, and maybe I might be able to pick it up on eBay, maybe it'll turn up. So the first one out of my books I got this week is 2000 AD, issue number 1972. For those of you that have never read 2000 AD, it's a British comic. It's all very sci-fi. It has 5 stories in every issue. They continue week to week. So and then once the stories are finished, they change the lineup. The only one that's in here every week is Judge Dredd. He has a strip in here every week. Otherwise, you know, the other strips they change as the story's finished. This issue finishes off 4 stories. So like next week, it's advert on the back. In Prague 1973, it will be all new stories. So it's a great place if you're kind of tempted to try out 2000 AD. It's a great place to start because the strips next week will all change. So like this issue, we have the final part of the current Judge Dredd story. That's the Judge Dredd. Each story has different creators on, so it's like every story has a really different feel. The second story I have here is a story called The Order. There's an example of the art from that. We then have the ABC Warriors, which is very different art. Again, they're the ABC Warriors. Then we have a thing called Future Shocks, which is a kind of one and done story. Sometimes it'll be like readers or readers of the comic, or people are trying to get into the comic book industry, and it'll give them a go at doing a story, and it's kind of a one and done story. And the final story in here is Kingdom. Again, you can see the art for each story is different, and each story gets, I'm trying to have a look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 pages each story has. And yeah, I really like it. I really like 2000 AD. I love my sci-fi. One of the things that annoys me about myself is I have kind of phases where I'm into something and then I go on to something else. So at the moment I'm in a 2000 AD phase. I've managed to get every issue up to the beginning of the year, and I'm currently reading my way through those. So that's 2000 AD. Next up then, we have the first two books I've read. So we have Extraordinary X-Men issue number 8. I've really been enjoying Jeff Lemire's X-Men. It has a very classical feel, I think because of the lineup. It has a very classical feel. A lot of characters I really like, so that really helps you enjoy it when there's a lot of characters in a book that you like. And you know, the story itself has been really good. Storm has taken the mutants to X-Haven, where they are safe because the Terrigen mists that are making all these new Inhumans is killing off mutants and giving them this thing called Mpox. But it also means that no new mutant babies have been born. This issue they locate 600 new mutants have suddenly turned up, so they go to investigate what's going on. It's a $4.99 issue, which I didn't realise when I picked it up that it was $4.99. I didn't realise till I was about to do this video, and I noticed it says $4.99, so that was a bit of a shock. We do get the main story, and then there's a bit at the back, and usually that's something that really pisses me off when they have a $4.99 book, but you don't get the whole one story, because like if the whole story doesn't need it, why have it? But the backup does relate into the main story, so I didn't mind it so much. Like I say, I'm enjoying this, and I'd give that one at the moment, and I might change my mind, I'd give it 4 out of 5 at the moment, that one. We then have International Iron Man issue number 1. I enjoyed. There was one thing, kind of the main story set 20 years ago, and it's got Tony Stark at university, which I really like. That seems to be a kind of part of his life we've never really explored, and I enjoyed it. But there's like one bit that kind of bugged me, and it's stupid, but this kid's got a mobile phone and he's on his phone, and kind of his dad says, "Oh, get off your phone." And I'm like, it's 20 years ago, we didn't have mobile phones. Like, we're in 2016, 20 years ago would be 1996. You didn't have phones like that 20 years ago. And it kind of, that was a bit, I found, like, yeah, that didn't make sense to me. But like I say, it's only a minor thing. The story itself, I really liked, really interesting. The art by Alex Maleev is just tremendous, and, you know, I think I'd pick this book up alone just for the art, because I really do like Alex Maleev's art. You know, the first issue, it's all action. There's some of the art, I really like that. It was all action, and you know, it definitely ends on somewhere interesting. I'd give this one, I enjoyed it a lot, and I'd give this one 4 out of 5 as well. Next up we have Robinson of Batman issue number 10. These are the other books off my order that I've not read yet. DC seems to be in a strange place at the moment, as a lot of the books seem to be on standby as we're kind of getting ready for Rebirth. And as of yet, we don't really know what Rebirth's going to be about. Is it going to be a complete reboot? Is it going to be kind of trying to assimilate maybe some more of the pre-New 52 into the New 52? Are they going to completely kind of do away with the current continuity and go back to the old? Or are they going to combine the two? We don't really know what's going to happen. We just go on. A lot of books are going to finish, and a lot of books are going to start coming out to come out twice a month. That's all we really know right now. So it seems to be like a lot of the books you kind of don't know if to care about them, because you don't know in a few months are they going to matter anymore, or are they going to just be something that never happened. So I kind of find that I'm not enjoying the DC books as much because of that. This issue, our regular creators not on it again. We've got Ray Fawkes and an artist called Bach. I'm trying to find. You can never find the credits page when you want it, can you? Ramon Bach. So, on art. So it's a different creative team. So we'll see. I don't know. I really feel like if Gleason isn't going to be on it, and we've only got a couple of months, they should have finished this. Just let Gleason tell his story and then finished it, because you know what's somebody going to do in a couple of months, you know. We then have Superman Wonder Woman issue 27. We're continuing the Vandal Savage story. Superman now has got his powers back, got his suit back, and now he and the like all the heroes he's rescued they're going to take the fight to Vandal Savage. So this, I'm looking forward to this actually. You know, should be good. I don't know how many artists. Last week's Action Comics was ruined because we had just too many artists. And like, I'm kind of like, if DC can't do a monthly book and just with one artist, how are they going to manage doing 2 books a month? We then have Superman issue number 50. This was a $4.99 book. I do kind of find it ironically funny that like they're doing this thing with the Rebirth, drawing a line at $2.99, and every book except for Batman and Robin Eternal this week is $3.99 or higher from DC, and I kind of find it funny that they're doing the whole draw the line business. We've got Superman issue 50 here. This is the, I think it's the final part of the Vandal Savage story, so that should be interesting. We then have Superman, the Coming of the Superman, issue number 2. Neil Adams writing and drawing this. I really enjoyed the first issue. I went into it curious, and I ended up coming away really enjoying it. Yeah, it was very fast paced. Yeah, a lot happened. But the thing that I loved about it was it made me very nostalgic to like the Superman of my youth, and it kind of scratched that nostalgic itch for me. I would be very interested if somebody who didn't have that nostalgic link, would they have enjoyed the book as much as I did? I don't know. We then have Superman American Alien issue number 5, my favourite current Superman book. It kind of is ironic that the best 2 Superman books at the moment are the 2 that aren't in continuity. This book's been really good, exploring Superman's youth, jumping to different periods of his youth. This issue we have Francis Manapul on art, which I'm super excited about because I really enjoy Manapul, and I've missed seeing his art on a monthly basis, so I'm looking very forward to this. We then have Huck issue number 5. Another book that I'm really enjoying. Mark Miller at the moment is just exceptional. He can't do no wrong. Raphael Albuquerque's art on the book is really good. Last issue ended a bit dark as Huck was betrayed and captured, so I'm really interested to see what's going to happen next. I was thinking this was a mini-series, but now I'm kind of doubting, is it? Because it seems if it's like 6 issues, there's a lot of story left to tell, but I'm just really enjoying it, and I would not complain if this went longer. We then have Batman and Robin Eternal issue number 24. This book I feel has really picked up the last couple of issues as we're kind of getting nearer the finish line, and last issue seemed to set all the pieces in place for the finale, so I'm hoping this issue it's going to be everything's going to start kicking off, so looking forward to that. We then have All New X-Men issue number 6. This should be good. Last issue we had the Blob and he was fighting the X-Men, and Angel broke up with Wolverine because he can't take seeing her getting killed all the time and damaged, and he's finding it really hard, but while the rest of the team are all getting their asses kicked by the Blob. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. Can they defeat the Blob? And how's Wolverine going to take the whole thing of being dumped by Angel? And is that going to kind of make a strange kind of atmosphere within the team? So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying all the X-Men books at the moment, the 3 that are coming out, because each book does something different. And I think that if you do multiple books, that's what should be happening. We then have Astonishing Ant-Man issue number 6. Last issue, Ant-Man's daughter Cassie was going to become a supervillain, and I'm wondering now, because the story, we have Ant-Man in prison and we're kind of flashing back to how he ended up there, so I'm kind of wondering if this whole thing with Cassie, is she going to become a shrinking supervillain, and is he going to take the blame for her crimes so she doesn't have to go to prison? I'm just wondering. That seems at the moment the most likely explanation why Ant-Man's in prison. I'm enjoying this book, even though it's a bit of a downer, because Scott Lang seems a really likeable character, and he's trying to do good, but everything keeps going wrong, and you kind of feel sad for him. So while you're enjoying the book and it's good writing and stuff, you kind of feel sad at the same time when you read this, because you want to see things go well for Scott. We then have Deadpool, Mercs for Money. The first issue of this, we saw Deadpool and the Mercs for Money go on a mission. The guy who was paying them got killed, so they got paid. Plus they managed to keep what they got for this guy, which turned out to be a recorder robot. So looking forward to seeing now what they're going to do with that, and where's this story going to head now. Like I say, this is my fix this week to help me with my Deadpool fever. And the thing with Deadpool fever, I don't know how long it's going to last. It might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be the rest of my comic book reading life. But certainly at the moment I'm enjoying everything with Deadpool. My favourite at the moment is definitely the Spider-Man Deadpool comic. I think that's my favourite out of the Deadpool books I'm reading, but I did enjoy the first issue of this. We then have the final issue of Star Wars Kanan. This is number 12. We're concluding the story of how Kanan met Master Bilaba and his first mission as a Padawan. This to me kind of was always the book that was going to struggle the most, because I feel it's more of a niche market that of people that are watching Star Wars Rebels are going to read this. I think that's a smaller market than your general kind of books based off of the original trilogy. So yeah, but this is going to make way then for the Poe book, so Poe Dameron book. So to me, that if this has to go, that's worth it to get a Poe Dameron book. So yeah, looking forward to see how that's going to finish up. We then have Doctor Who issue number, the 8th Doctor Adventures issue 5, the conclusion to this mini-series. The first 2 issues I didn't really like that much. I wasn't really that enthusiastic for, but I feel issues 3 and 4 really picked up, were really great stories, and I'm really excited to see where this is going to finish now. And I think it's very interesting the way they've done this, that they've had an overarching mission, but that each issue dealt with a different part of that mission. So yeah, I've enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to finish. We then have Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, issue number 5. Gilad has returned to the land of the living now. He's got himself out of the afterlife, but he found himself in a laboratory. So what's going to happen next? Why is he in a laboratory? What's happened? Did somebody take his dead body and we're experimenting on it, or what? You know, what is going on? Looking forward to finding out in that. We then have Imperium, issue number 14. It's good to see Livewire back in a book now that Unity's finished, so I was super excited for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this Imperium, because it's been a really good book. Arada's a really interesting character. Livewire and a group of soldiers are trying to go in and take out Arada because of the threat that he's creating. But things started going wrong at the end of last issue. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. We then have The Adventures of Archer and Armstrong, issue number 1. The only Valiant book that I've disliked and struggled with was Quantum and Woody. And this is kind of a funny book on that vein, but I'm hoping I'm going to like Archer and Armstrong more than I liked Quantum and Woody. So yeah, we'll see what's going to go down there. We then have Captain Marvel, issue number 3. I enjoyed the first issue of this, which I picked up just on a whim, but I really ended up enjoying it. It's Alpha Flight, it's Captain Marvel in space. What's not to like? So yeah, I didn't enjoy the second issue as much, but it was still good. So I'm really interested to see where I'm going to fall with issue 3. Am I going to enjoy it more than issue 2, or but less than issue 1, or is it going to go back to what I loved about issue 1? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We then have Power Man Iron Fist, issue number 2. Like issue number 1 of Captain Marvel, I picked this up on a whim. Really enjoyed issue 1, and I'm looking forward to issue 2, because the first issue was a lot of fun. Loved the dialogue between the characters, and it was really good stuff. So looking forward to that. And then we have Squadron Supreme, issue number 5, which is basically Marvel's version of the Justice League. You've got Hyperion, who's basically Superman. You've got Dr. Spectrum, who's basically the Green Lantern. We've got, I think his name was Blur, who's basically the Flash. We've got Paraprincess, who's revealed to be Warrior Woman, who really basically is Wonder Woman. And then we have Nighthawk, who's Batman. So they are like Marvel doing their own version of the Justice League characters. They are from different realities. They've ended up in the Marvel universe. They've come from different universes that were destroyed in the build-up to Secret Wars. They've come together as a team to right the wrongs, to make sure that never happens to another world. They've killed Namor, who's the man most responsible for the destruction of their worlds. That brought them to the attention of the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D., who went after them. Just as things look grim for them, Thundra turned up and she takes them to Weird World. And it turns out Dr. Druid, who died, is a ghost in the Marvel universe. In Weird World, he can exist as a real body. So he's got this crystal and he's taking over people's mind in Weird World. and he's like now this ruler, this king of Weird World. And Thundra has turned up, and because she's from the future, his mind powers don't work on her. And because she has this relationship going back with Archon, and he's under Dr. Druid's spell, she needs to kind of defeat Dr. Druid. So she's enlisted the Squadron Supreme with the idea that because they're from different realities, Druid's powers won't work on them much like they won't work on her. So, but unfortunately, when they turned up in Real World, everything went pear-shaped. Hypernian's powers no longer worked, Dr. Spectrum blew up, and then Power Princess revealed herself to be Warrior Woman and betrayed and turned on Blur and Nighthawk, and they've all got captured, and them two have got captured. And then they seemingly killed Thundra as well, or she dived to her death. But she didn't die. She managed to find Hypernian, and they are now trying to make their way back to stop Dr. Druid. So yeah, and the issue ended with Skull Slayer, who's a character from the miniseries during Secret Wars of Weird World. That he's turned up, and he's like he's going to help Thundra and Hypernian hopefully defeat Dr. Druid. So yeah, I really enjoyed the first 4 issues of this and where they head, and the last issue I thought was the best yet, and I'm hoping that this issue continues that thread, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to go next, because I really like the whole Weird World stuff that they're doing. So those are all my books for this week. A bit of a long-winded one this week. Hopefully these haul videos will be a bit short in future weeks. Now I'm planning to be back at the beginning of next week with a review video. My review video is going to be different. It's going to be called Comics of the Week, and every week I'm going to take my 5 favourite comics and review them. I'm doing it this way because this way I can guarantee that every week I'll be able to do a review video. If I try to do my old style review video, I'm not going to be able to guarantee that I can get that done every week. This is going to be more possible, so that's why there's the change. However, the weeks I've got time, I'm going to do Rapid Fire Roundup. Originally I was thinking of including that in the same video as Comics of the Week, but now I'm kind of contemplating, should Rapid Fire Roundup be a separate video? And hopefully I'll have come to a decision on that by the time I do my Comics of the Week video. Because what Rapid Fire Roundup is going to be, it's going to be a quick review of all my books. I'm not going to do an in-depth, that's going to be the main chunk of the video, Comics of the Week. What Rapid Fire Roundup is going to be just my brief views on each book and kind of quickly go through them. So I'm kind of contemplating now, like, should I do Rapid Fire Roundup as a separate video or not? Please, if you've got an opinion on this, because I've not made my mind up one way or the other, yeah, let me know. But the Rapid Fire Roundup was just going to be something I was going to do the weeks I've got time. But every week guaranteed was going to be the main Comic of the Week part of the video. So yeah, like I say, I'm waffling now, but yeah, I've got that decision to make, and I'll put my thinking cap on and kind of contemplate what to do with that. But I will be back beginning of next week with that Comics of the Week video. So yeah, that's me done. Then I'll be back next Friday with another Comic Haul Friday video. So I'd like to, before I finish this video, to send a shout out and a thank you to Liam Kennedy and Regishel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. They like took the time to kind of comment me and say, like, are you coming back? Where are your videos? You know, we're missing your videos. And I really appreciated that. You know, I started doing these videos not to become famous, not to be liked, but just because I love comics and I don't know nobody in my real life that I can talk about comics with. And that's why I started doing these videos. But the fact that there are people out there that missed my videos and that enjoy my videos means the world to me, and it's really special, and I really appreciate you both taking the time to find out where I was. So really a big massive thank you for that. Please, if you enjoyed this video, give me those beautiful thumbs up so I know you're enjoying what I'm doing. That's pretty much everything done for this week. It's good to be back. Thank you for watching. I've been Jason. This has been Comic Haul Friday. Keep reading, and bye for now.